live, isn't it? It is active.
That's
Oh shit!
no. I was just having some issues configuring it. No, that's always been the same. There we go. There we
Oh,
go.
we're live. Are we live?
Yes,
We're live.
we're live now.
We're live. Welcome to Three Old Dudes. Sorry, we're having a bit of technical difficulty, which is not unheard of.
It was not actually a difficulty. It was just there were some assumptions made, and even though I created those events, I only created them because I thought, oh, it was not possible to stream on Zoom anymore, so I better create the events, and I did that Friday.
Let me see the watch page.
But now you do everything through the live stream page.
Oh, I can see myself.
Mm.
And how do you look, dear?
Oh, wake up!
Welcome to Three Old Dudes. Dean is not yet of the party. He may join later. But we have our special guest who woke up specially on midnight in Hawaii to be with us. This is Starlet Shay.
Good. I want to say good morning. It's not really morning though.
It's Sunday morning in Hawaii.
Yes.
And I have a giant Hina doll about to sort of fill my screen, and because it's the last day of Hina Matsuri.
Yes.
It's a big reminder. If you don't take your dolls away, you'll have bad luck.
Take your dolls down, like seriously. My mother left those dolls out like way too long.
Yes, accumulated bad luck. I mean, this is curious. I read about it, and it originated sort of about 1,000 years ago, and people, at the end of the year, put all their bad luck in dolls and then disposed of them. And then in the 17th century, some princess had the dolls and liked to play with them, and so the courtiers built her a stand to put the dolls on, and that's where it all originated from. And then everybody started doing it and not throwing them away.
Like voodoo dolls?
Well, originally, yes, sort of like a voodoo doll. You make a doll, and you all the rubbish that happened to you, you would then float it away on the river at the end of the year or something like that. Yeah. But they weren't as beautiful as these dolls. They were just sort of like little makeshift voodoo doll type things. Yeah. But it's become a nice tradition.
Right.
But it's still that's why it's still bad luck not to leave them out, because they're supposed to have accumulated all the rubbish that's happened to you.
All right.
The space just gets bigger and bigger and bigger until it stops.
Kind of freaky.
Yeah.
Is that my shirt? Yes, got it. Yeah.
So did you go to?
It's give me a break, man.
Yeah.
Is he in the comments? Is Victor there?
No, it's just my shirt.
Oh, right. Okay. I didn't. Oh, it's Frederick. Hello, Frederick.
Oh.
Frederick's always there. Hello, Frederick.
Very good.
Oh, wait. I better go look at the chat. Wait, hold on. I'm like looking at the wrong thing.
Yes. I'll take this mask off. Mm. Oh,
That's so cool. I want a mask too.
Yeah. That's why I decided let's give Minicam 6 a shot, because it had this feature. It's not the most accurate mask, but it's sort of kind.
Oh, there I see.
Yeah.
I see the.
I like this one too.
Well, I better send this out to my friend in Hong Kong. Was trying to video chat with me, and it was a bit difficult. So.
I want to do those fancy things. Like,
oh, 4 watching. There's 4 people watching. Say something, 4 people watching.
Well, I'm pretty sure one of those 4 is me.
Okay. Say something.
Yeah, possibly. Oh, hey, it's Ozzy.
Hey, Ozzy.
Oh, and
do you subscribe to Aussie 78? Aussie Awesome.
Oh, yeah.
No.
You don't?
You should. Everybody in comments, that's Frederick and Ozzy, subscribe to yourselves.
Wait, I'm going to the channel now. Hold on, let's see this. Oh no, I am subscribed.
Yeah.
There you are. This is yes, Mutual Appreciation Society. Ozzy.
I am subscribed.
Mm-hmm.
Hi, Frederick. Frederick is so awesome. He comes and watches my live too.
Yeah. He's a very loyal,
Yes.
very loyal fan.
Yes.
Have you removed your dolls, Ozzy? This is the question. Although, no, wait, it's Girls' Day. But you do wear a wig sometimes, so I mean, you could theoretically.
I think you're supposed to like eat mochi or something, or I don't know. I totally like did not celebrate it this year. Oh, thank you, Ozzy, for subscribing. That was so scary.
Oh yes, the spider-web dude. I think I better put.
I might change my backdrop then. Something less scary instead.
We need to say goodbye to Girls' Day. It's no longer Girls' Day.
Is that less scary?
I'll just be one conniving creature right here.
That's just as like scary.
Okay. We'll have some deep space. Let's have deep space.
How about this one?
Yes, because the theme of the show is getting help from the universe. So I have a universe going on behind me.
Yes, so that's our topic today.
Indeed. Yes. I forgot to calibrate my hands. I'm sorry.
Yeah, so I've been using my hands. If anybody
I'll have to look at that.
Remembers that session. I can go over that.
So which one of us is, can you tell who's lying, me or Robert?
Well, you see, I was about to.
You both are lying.
Well, no, I really was going to make my tea.
Oh,
we're both lying.
Ozzy says he's been subbed for like 6 years.
Yeah.
It's a really long time.
Indeed.
Have you got some pants on, Ozzy? Because you could be Dean if you like.
Indeed, you could. Yeah, if you feel so inclined, Ozzy.
It brings bad luck if Hina Matsuri puppets say, yeah, well, that's why. Yes, that's why I removed it, Frederick.
Yes. So, where shall I start my story?
How did you come to become interested in getting help from the universe, as it were?
That's a really good question. So, earlier last year, my mother was like, "Oh, there's this workshop that I want to take you to," and I was asking her what the workshop was about. She's like, "I don't really know. Just come." And so I went, and it was about learning to like ground yourself and center yourself to make, manifest things. And it was like a basic intro course. And then after that, that was held here in Hawaii. By the way, I'm in Hawaii. So that was held here in Hawaii as a special thing because the teacher was from Japan, came to Hawaii. The workshop was in Japanese. Anyways. Then that teacher had a workshop in October, November, and December, 1 weekend in each of those months.
Now that's when you kept trotting off to Japan.
Yeah, and so I literally went to Japan for the weekend in October and November and December, and I was flying back and forth to this workshop that basically my teacher's thought process or premises is that everybody is psychic. You just need to cultivate that skill.
And by the end of the workshop, were you able to sort of actually do anything, as it were? I mean, or was it just at the moment all theory, and then you had to put it into practice after the workshop, or were you able to do anything practical? Were you able to sort of experience? Oh God, a train! Experience.
Watch out! You're getting run over by the train. Yes. So in the workshop, they tell you ways to like channel and read aura and read people's past lives or get messages from spirits, guides, and angels. And so we learn how to do it and then we practice on each other. And so I've gotten up to like the baby step of being a psychic, like super baby step. I need to continue to like practice. Hello there.
Hello.
Hi.
Hey, it's you don't look like Aussie.
Yes. Hello, Dean Mercury. Hello.
Hello.
Oh.
Sorry, I thought it was 9:30 we were starting.
No.
Wait.
That would have been yesterday.
Oh, jeez.
Wait,
Really?
Wait,
where
what?
is everybody?
Oh, well, Dean's in Adelaide, Australia.
Australia.
I'm in Toronto, Canada.
Okay.
Simon's in Belgium.
Oh my goodness, Toronto. Like I'm taking notes. I'm like I'm a student.
Yes, so we basically cover in the entire time zone. We're all the different.
No wonder it was a mass chaos trying to figure out like what time, when, where.
Yes.
Okay.
Right. Oh, Dean's gone again. No, he's back again.
Oh, I don't know how to work this thing. I don't. Oh God, there we go again.
Okay, he's muted it. Yes, the up.
So we're currently with baby psychic Shay.
Yes, thank you. I am. Yes, Frederick says I'm in Switzerland.
We know that, Frederick.
Wait, did the YouTube thing change where all the chats get saved on YouTube now?
Yes, I saw that. I think you have to enable it. I didn't see that on this particular one. On my other channel, I saw it because this one has been open for a couple of days, and as a result,
there we go.
The streaming server link that I had went bad, so I had to get a new key. That's what I had to get, which I did, and we started. Ooh. Ding dong. Ooh. Bonus. It's Aussie.
Right, where were we? I'm sorry.
So Ozzy is coming.
Hooray! He's just getting his pants on. Hello. Hang on, I have to go. There's a telephone call. Excuse me. Just talk amongst yourselves.
Sure.
That must be Simon's lady friend.
That's so cool. His green screen just flips up and stuff. Like, yeah no.
Mine does too. Sometimes there's a cat behind it.
Mine doesn't.
Not yet, but it will. It will. You're only many cam away and some fabric from a green screen.
Well, this is true.
I can set you up with the Minicam because I have an extra key.
Oh, okay. Then nobody will be able to see my keyboard.
Oh.
So Ozzy's here.
There's Ozzy. And let's see if. Oh, wait.
Hey, Mr. Awesome.
I'm sorry.
Hello.
It's.
Oh yes, I said. Oh,
it's Mutual Sub Appreciation Society.
It's bonus appreciation time.
Hey,
7 viewers, guys.
Yeah. That's pretty good for this time of day. Well,
Sunday at midnight in Hawaii. How many of your friends in Hawaii are watching?
I don't know. They're not talking in the chat. So if you're in Hawaii or you're one of my friends, can you like leave a message so I know that? or else everyone's gonna think I don't have friends.
Well, we're your friends. Come on.
There's it.
I don't have friends.
I can talk to Ozzy directly now. I don't have to sort of go wait 40 seconds.
That depends on if Ozzy can currently hear us.
Can you hear? Nod if you can hear us, Ozzy.
If you can see the microphone at the lower left corner that has mute underneath it, you'll see a little up chevron beside it. When you click on that, you can choose your microphone and your speakers.
Lagging video. Oh, that shouldn't be.
Wow. Oh, is it because
you have to turn? You have to turn. Switch off X Hamster and Red Tube and all that.
I need to learn how to use all of this stuff. This is kind of cool.
Yeah, I remember last time you joined us, you had a really old pocket Wi-Fi that your brand new computer was connected to, and it was slowing you down, and you went on your phone, and then it was like, "Ooh, it's a miracle." Chris,
you're talking to Ozzy there, yeah. Are you on your using? Yes. If you downloaded onto the computer, you'd have to download again on the phone.
So I'm guessing. I don't know why.
From the universe, please help Ozzy. We need high speed internet.
Let me channel my energy, guys.
Channel your energy. Come on.
So,
are you feeling it, Oz?
Hold on 1 second. I'm trying to get. Can you hear me now?
oh yes.
I got it to work.
Yeah. Hi.
Hi.
What's up?
Oh, that's
Sorry.
good.
Yeah, my dog is just going crazy because he's hearing voices and he's like, he thinks someone's in our house.
Maple. Hi, Maple. Maple. Hi, Maple. Hi, Maple. Hello. Hello, Maple. Hello.
So confused.
He's like, what?
Yeah.
But I can't smell them.
Which is a good job. Although I did have a shower this morning.
So, by the way, Starlet Shay, yeah, I think I've watched you since I used to live in Toronto. So, 2008, 2009.
Wow.
Yeah. So, I think I was making videos from Toronto. So, I think we kind of were like starting around the same time.
Wow.
Yeah. Like, I'm trying to remember one of your old videos because I remember watching a lot.
The one that sticks out in my mind is the wine and sake sauna.
Because
onsen.
Insider picked it up.
Yeah, I saw that on Facebook as well. Yeah. I remember that one. Yeah. That's cool.
And of course, you remember her on Three Old Dudes a year and a half ago, or not? Probably.
Of course I do.
No, that was a lie. That was a lie.
I was lying too. I have no idea. Like
right now,
until recently, like my Saturdays were filled with like partying and hanging out with friends, but that's kind of stopped recently. So
now you just hang out with us.
now my only friend is my dog. So.
Oh.
But yeah, cool.
Where are you getting those quotes from, Simon?
Oh, that's Alan Watts. I should recommend Alan Watts to Shay. If you haven't read any Alan Watts books, I would recommend Alan Watts.
Okay, I'm taking notes right now.
Yeah, because he, I mean, like you said in your first spiritual live hangout that you said you weren't religious.
Yeah.
But that you did have faith, and he's long dead now. But I mean, he was quite like that. I mean, he took all religions with a grain of salt, and then rubbed it in.
Yeah, like I grew up like, so we had this like thing that we called kami-sama, or like God in Japanese, right? And then my mom would be like, okay, like kami-sama ni like whatever. And so like we would like, put our hands together and like tell this thing that we called kami-sama or God, like whatever our wishes were or whatever, I don't know. But we never went to like church or
not even to the shrine. Well, yeah, you're in Hawaii. Are there shrines, Shinto shrines in Hawaii?
No, we do. We have churches and we do have temples and shrines. We have that here, but
I never go. Yeah. So that's probably why Kami-sama sort of like never answered. It's like well, if they're not bothering.
And you know what I found out? Okay, so what I found out is like that thing that we called Kami-sama, which it translates to God, which like I found out like 3.5 years ago is that it wasn't actually God. Like it's actually Kannon-sama. Kannon-sama is
Kannon. Oh yeah, Kannon, the Guanyin, the Buddhist god of or Buddhist mercy god, or
something, right? Like it's not like kami-sama god. It's like a different thing. Like I don't know. Yeah. And anyways, so I found out it's not even like kami-sama. It's like kannon-sama. Anyways, I that's why I believe in a higher power, but I'm not religion or that religion.
Yeah, you don't. It's not sort of like crystallized into one particular, historic.
Ooh, I know. Yeah. It's the religion of Starlet Shay.
You're weird. We seem.
Hello, Neil Bear, 66.
Yes, Neil Bear.
Hello, Neil Bear, 66.
Are you in Hawaii? Are you awake?
Yes, I was also considering starting a new religion. It seems that it's time.
Yeah.
And it's good money.
Where are you guys looking at the comments? Like on YouTube, or is there?
Yeah, we've popped out the chat from YouTube.
Give you a link.
It's YouTube. Okay. I have a friend that is trying to start a religion. We should all start our own religion. There should be 7 billion different religions.
And we should all connect them, make them all interfaith religions. If you can see this, but I would send it to you on Facebook. That will pop out just the chat window.
Okay.
Although you have to copy and paste it. I'll send it to you on Facebook.
I got it. I see it now. Sweet.
Okay.
There we go. Scotty.
Yeah. I have requested the help of the universe before. Only really twice. The first time by accident. The second time on purpose. And the second time was to find a partner.
I ask the universe for help like every waking moment.
The way I learned to do it was a little more involved. And there's a lot of common sense too. Because when I realized that I actually wanted a partner, because I had been divorced and living alone for quite some time, and I enjoyed it. But out of frustration, I was online dating here in Toronto, and that's just very frustrating. I found
I can't trust online dating as much as I'm like online all the time.
I know.
Face-to-face person, I guess.
I kept getting these ladies that had changed their profile to match mine. And it became very evident almost immediately once you meet in person.
Train, watch your head.
Yeah.
Oh, but the fence is up. The gate is up.
Yeah, but his hat can go right over.
It's because it's glued to his head.
And I get distracted easily also. That's also why I needed some assistance. Anyways, I was very frustrated one afternoon at my friend's place, and I said, why can't I meet someone that's just like me, except a girl? And when I said that, I realized two things.
Should you really be asking for that? Is one thing.
Should you be really
no. I had all the qualities.
Who's 5'8" and built like a brick shithouse.
That would be fine. But no, I realized I had all the qualities of character that I wanted in a partner.
Oh, I've been there.
I also realized that I actually wanted a partner. And I hadn't wanted one for quite a long time. So I thought, oh, well, that's something. Double win. So I went about doing some mental housekeeping because I was deep in depression at that time. And I will continue when I get back from making tea.
Yes, no. you need help from Baby Shay. Sorry, Baby Psychic Shay.
Oh no, the story you all know the story.
Yes, BPS. That's their new company name, BP, Baby Psychic Shay.
Yes, I will continue because there was some time. There was, I think, almost 2 years, or the 1 3/4 years went from the time I realized I wanted a partner to the time I actually began efforts to find a partner because of that mental housekeeping, which is
kettle's boiling, Robert.
What's that?
Kettle's boiling.
No, the kettle's boiled.
All right, it's going cold.
I'll be back. But I'll hear every word, I can assure you.
Is Starlet married? You'll have to ask the universe about that. Are you proposing?
I'm standing here in my pajama pants. I'm not proposing.
She does have a partner, I do believe. I think it's the camera. I think it's her cameraman. Actually.
I am not married, Neil Bear. It is not right now. Wait, so I hope he's listening, but I'm reading this book right now. It's called like When God Winks in Coincidences or something. And it's a book about how like coincidences are actually not coincidences, and they're actually like ways that the universe or the God or whatever you want to call like the higher power or this thing is telling you that you're like on the right track. So, and it could be any coincidences, like say you, I don't know,
like a destiny.
It's kind of like destiny, or kind of like you're on the like right track. So it's kind of ways that the world is saying,
like signs that.
Yes, like signs from God that either like helping you along the way or guiding you along the way or telling you it's this, not that, or whatever. Like, so they're saying that coincidences are actually not coincidences.
Oh. So I mean, so even if like bad things happen and it's a coincidence, that's kind of like sort of saying, yes, sort of take this into consideration because it could be a sign.
Yeah. So actually, my psychic teacher is like, in his eyes, like there is no bad thing, and that's because he's like has awakened or arised or reached the universe level or whatever it's called, right? So in that realm, when people reach that realm, there's no such thing as bad, right? There's no such thing as bad feelings as like jealousy or hate or like anger or whatever it is. And so what they say is that even death to my psychic teacher is not something that's sad or bad. Like death to him is almost like, it's like a good thing. Like you're being free from your body that's either giving you like, pain, or freeing you to like see from above and freeing you to like go back to the universe where anything and everything was possible.
Yes, I mean, also in just purely in practical terms, if there was no death, it would be very crowded.
Yeah, that too. So.
Yes. Would.
So if there's a heaven, it's even more crowded, right?
Yeah.
Well, there is what our society or our most of our culture think of as heaven. There is a heaven, and in heaven, it's a limitless, like unlimited possibilities. Like if you want something, it happens. Like you think of this and it happens, and anything and everything is possible. And then what happens is like we get bored of that, like because like if you ask for this, you get it, or you want this, you get it. You kind of get bored, and then you look down upon Earth and you're like, oh, look at that. They're experiencing limits, or they're experiencing hate or jealousy or like missing someone or anger. And that kind of looks interesting. I kind of want to try that. And then so what our spirits do is, okay, this is all like my psychic teacher, this is not me. So my psychic teacher says that we're all up there, we're looking down, and we're like, oh, I want to experience that. And then we come down.
It's the right thing for me.
Yeah. Well, I wrote something similar quite a long time ago to do with out-of-body experiences, and there was one guy who was able to project out of his body, and he did that. He sort of went into the spirit realm, and like you say, looked down, and he could see. Also, he could go to any period in time.
Yeah.
And what he found was you could go into the body and the mind of anybody, any sort of human being, and he saw friends doing this sort of, and they would get kind of stuck in the mind and the body of that person. And I think he saw one friend who sort of went down into the body of some soldier on an ancient battlefield, and then just saw him get killed and come out again.
Yeah, and so they say like this. My teacher said that sometimes like when people die because of like a hard accident, like say a truck like hit the person and they like instantly died, they have like this moment where they don't even realize that they're dead, and they're like trying to like tap on someone and be like, hey, what's going on, you know? And like nobody's responding because like they're already like in spirit form. And then they like see their dead body on the ground and they're like, oh my goodness, like I'm dead, you know? Like, like there's actually people that experience that, and then it takes them a little while to realize that they're dead because the way they died was so like impactful that it like the spirit just comes out of their body. And I was like, what? That is crazy, right? They're like,
well,
hey.
I mean,
I say it looks like Patrick. It sounds like Patrick Swayze. Movie Ghost.
yes, you're gonna buy a potter's wheel. You're gonna buy a potter's wheel next, Jason.
Or like Bruce Almighty. Got hit
How many fingers? Show me your hand. How many fingers have you got, Shay? Have you had any psychic experiences, Ozzy? Have you ever sort of encountered anything sort of unusual that you thought you couldn't explain?
I don't know if it was really paranormal or I don't know if I don't think it was ghosts, but when I was living in Nagoya, and I had an apartment, and for some reason, like for like a week only, it only lasted a week, and then it stopped. It was like every day at night around midnight, my shower would turn on by itself.
See, that's like a spirit.
Is it? Okay. Because like I would be just sitting watching TV and then I'd hear water running and I'm like, what? And I'd go to the bathroom and the shower was like full blast. So I'd turn it off. And then the next day, same thing happened. Like it happened like 3 or 4 days in a row.
Yeah, so what you need to do is like when things like that happen, you need to like tell the spirit, please, like I cannot help you, please go away. Or like, please, like I cannot help you, please go back to where you came from, or I cannot help you, please go away, or whatever. Yeah.
Or you need to set up a camera, capture it, and make a fortune on YouTube.
Well, at the time it was Nagoya when I first moved there, so I didn't speak any Japanese. So I don't think most would have understood me anyway, because I didn't think it was an English-speaking ghost. So I didn't know how to say that in Japanese yet. Now I know.
I wonder if you.
And nothing's really. One other time, but I don't know. I think this had something to do with maybe like something was wrong with my TV. Like my TV's volume would go up automatically, and then I'd put the remote and I'd make it go all the way back down, and then just automatically it'd go back up again.
I feel like somebody is trying to use you to like.
And that was the same apartment too.
Yeah, no. So see, there's somebody in that apartment that's trying to use you to like communicate with you and stuff.
I wonder what Tokyo Briri's ghost is doing, trying to do to her.
And Mashu and Reno had a really sort of spooky. Did you see their video about they had to leave their apartment because it was actually so badly haunted?
Oh, which one? Who is that again? I remember that kind of.
Mashimaru and Rena Berry.
Right. I didn't watch the video, but I heard about it. Was it Victor talking about that? Like, give me a break, man, or something? I think he was talking about it too.
Yeah, they made it. They put a video up the other day, and there was actually sort of like there's blood in the bath and stuff that came from nowhere, and screaming and shouting and all kinds of weird, horrible stuff.
Okay.
Yeah. So can I tell you something then? So this is another thing that my psychic teacher said. It's like, so if you are like, so everything is in vibration, right? So we're all like vibrating at like, different levels and stuff. And again, this is what my teacher says, not me. If we're vibrating at a lower frequency, we tend to connect with guides and spirits that are lower on the scales, what we call bad or evil, or trying to like take advantage or harm us or whatever, right? So if people are like, oh my goodness, this, and connects with those kind of spirits, it's because their frequency is lower. So it's important to like raise your frequency and like kind of have a higher perspective. Then when you connect to like spirits and you see things, then it's like the friendly ghosts or the ghosts that are there to help you, as opposed to like be mean to you or take advantage of something.
How do you change your vibration?
Yeah, Casper. I was thinking that.
How do you change your frequency or vibration or whatever?
So there's different ways to do it, but basically if you like ground yourself and center yourself, and then like you release all this negative energy from you. So what we label negative, like fear, anger, hate, jealousy, sadness, you know, whatever it is, we release that, and then you visualize yourself getting rid of all of that energy. You give it a size, shape, color, and like whatever, and then you like kind of literally push it out back into like the source energy, and then you
like meditation
kind of like meditation, visualization stuff. So and then you are able to raise. Basically, higher vibrating people, those things don't affect you. And I know I'm not there, because when I see scary movies, or even like, you know, like the Robert's like scary mask thing, like that still affects me. But like I'm like, oh my goodness, scary movie, I don't want to watch it, because I haven't been able to rise.
But yeah, but that's is that not instinctual? I mean, you can't. On the one hand, do you separate yourself from your instincts, or do you and in that case, sort of, are you living sort of like the guy who's enlightened, the teacher who's enlightened? I mean, does he still not enjoy a cup of tea or a nice glass of wine or something because he knows it's not real?
So what he says is that you become unhuman-like, because you no longer have those types of feelings. You become unhuman-like because like sad things or angry things no longer affect you, and that's just kind of how it is. But when you become unhuman-like and you get rid of those energies, you're able to see everything from a higher perspective and be able to manifest whatever you want in your reality.
I'm working on something like that, but with money. I'll let you know.
How about you, Oz? What would you like to manifest in your reality?
I have no idea.
No idea. No. Like fancy car, big apartment.
No. Right now, like I feel like I've been reborn. So like in the last month, at the end of January, after all the bad things happened to me, February has been. I didn't do anything in February. I didn't go out. I didn't really meet anybody. I didn't make any videos. I just stayed home, and I went to the hospital a few times, and that's about it. So I think like March is my like kind of like comeback, but in a different way. Like I just want to improve on my health and my wealth, and like love and happiness and friendship and family. I'm all focusing more on that now, less on like how can I make more money, or well, that's part of it, but how can I, like, you know, I'm not so concerned about what I used to be concerned about, like partying or drinking or hanging out, like meeting hot chicks or anything like that. It's more like just like going with the flow now. I'm learning to go with the flow.
Yeah, you seem to be very good at that, Ozzy.
I'm bad at everything, but I'm really good at getting scared of stuff and quickly changing. So like I'm never addicted to anything. Like I've never been addicted to alcohol or drugs or partying or coffee or chocolate or anything. So I love everything, but if I know it's gonna harm me, I'm really good at changing everything up, which is why it was easy for me to just get out of Toronto and just move to Japan right away, kind of stuff. Like I told
basically, that means that on your channel we can no longer expect STD.
Yeah, you're not gonna see too many STDs. Snack test day, by the way, Starlet. If you don't know. So yeah, you won't see STD. I mean, you'll still see it because I'm still allowed to have a little bit here and there. So, and even when I used to do STDs, I only would take a bite, and I would just give it.
Spit it out.
Oh, is it blood sugar issues?
Yeah. I have type 2 diabetes. I just found out last week.
Oh, damn. Yeah,
but I mean, it's controllable. Everyone keeps saying it's reversible.
Yes.
So, yeah. So my main goal now is just to get healthy, and like I stopped drinking alcohol like 2 months ago anyway. A month ago.
That will help.
So yeah. And then now it's more like no more sweets and pasta and rice and all that stuff.
That's the hard part.
Yeah.
In
But
about
actually,
20 minutes, my son's going to come upstairs with pizza for me.
Sure.
no more pizza. My two favorite foods are pizza and cupcakes, and
Oh.
both of those I can't eat anymore.
Oh,
But I've like honestly for the last month, since I changed all my diet and stuff, I feel like 10 times more like gankier, so much more healthier. And I did lose a little weight, still a lot more to go, but lost some weight. And I just have I'm feeling more energetic and positive. So I think all the food that I really liked was actually bringing me down. So it's actually a good move. So it's kind of like by accident, I guess it's a coincidence, like you're saying, that this kind of like was a good sign.
Yeah, kind of like...
let me add to that of what my psychic teacher has been telling me. So up until now, the world was about you better work hard and then you're going to produce great results, right? You got to work hard, you got to stick it through. Like that's just how it is. Like if you don't put in the work, you're not going to get the results, right? That was the way of life on earth until now. Now he's saying the way of life on earth is whatever comes easy, what's fun, what excites you, what flows, what's natural, what those are the types of things that we should be doing. So even as this as simple as like, what should I eat for dinner? Should I have like Italian or Chinese? Like you pick the one that excites you. You don't say like, well, I had Italian for 5 days in a row, so I'm going to have Chinese now. But if it's Italian is the one that's going to excite you, then you just keep going to do that. So any decision you make in life, even if it's like work or something serious, you just think what would be fun and easy and natural and flow and excites you. And those are the decisions and choices you should make. He says, if you stick with the old way of working hard, you're only going to be producing like less results than what previously was possible. So previously, like if you work hard, you had like great results. Now, even if you work hard, you only have like small results. So it's better to choose the things that are fun and easy and natural and excites you. And those things will produce more results is what
I agree with that, but it also means that you still have to be careful to choose things that won't damage you, right? Like, for example, sitting at home on the couch for 12 hours because you love to watch How I Met Your Mother.
That can damage you.
That can damage you, right? Whereas if you can watch like a couple of episodes and then go out and get some exercise, that's better, right? That's what I think he means. Or because because I would love to eat cupcakes all day, but then I'll die, right?
Yeah.
I feel like you can't always, you can of course choose things that make you excited or happy to a point because everything is good in portions, right?
Well, I think yes, in that sense, like you're gonna choose those things and then you'll realize that, oh, I need to make some changes for here so that like, if you watch TV for 12 hours, maybe you'll feel great, but after that you'll have a feeling of not so greatness, right? Like you'll be like, oh my goodness. And so that's why you need to from there pick, okay, now what's gonna make me happy, Like
so learn from your mistakes kind of thing.
I think
Sometimes I get excited by mock chicken.
So like Neo Bear says, if you like eat cupcakes and die eating cupcakes, at least you're happy you died.
Fair enough.
But there's good news though. There are people out there that can help you shape your perspective so that you can kind of return to the simple pleasures in life and start finding joy all around you in interaction with people. That's where I get it from.
Dean, have you found the simple pleasures of life? Have you switched to the simple pleasures?
Not at this time.
One could say that, I suppose. Yeah.
As long as
because you have a similar situation with Ozzy there with the, what you have to watch, what you eat and stuff.
I watch it go into my mouth.
No, I said what you eat. What you put into your mouth is your own business.
Yeah, I watch that go into my mouth as well. My wife is very disconcerted by it all. But, yeah, actually, I'm terrible. Since becoming diabetic, I started off really well. But now I probably eat the same shit that I always used to, which is not good.
You're a terrible diabetic.
I've got the symptoms of being diabetic because I'm on tablets, which
are you on insulin or no?
seem to negate any of the diabetic problems that I had. I still get itchy hands every now and again, but I'm terrible. I drink. I still drink soda. And
Monster. You drink Monster still, don't you? No, yeah.
Yeah, but that's sugar free. So yeah.
Dean, can I ask you?
Yeah, but
Dean,
Ozzy
wants to ask you a question.
I'm concentrating on my music at the moment, so my music project. That's what was that?
Ozzy would like to ask you a question.
Oh, sorry.
Hi, are you on pills or do you take like insulin shots?
Oh, I take as many pills as I can. No, you mean no? Yeah, no, I'm just on the pills.
Okay.
Do you have your hearing aids in?
I do, but there's a fair bit of background noise from. We've got these birds called Major Mitchells.
Yeah.
They're big white galah cockies, and they nest in trees until autumn, and then they take off up to the hills. But yeah, I don't know whether you can hear them, but I can.
No, we can't hear them, but it's evident that something is interfering with your reception.
Yeah, I've got actually they're pretty
got his hearing aids in.
I've got two granddaughters here as well, so.
Like I also had to do. I had to change my diet. I had to go away from. At first, it wasn't as bad. I had to stop eating the white carbs, white rice, white bread, and white flour, and vanilla ice cream. So with yogurt and with exercise and diet, I brought the weight down.
Nice.
And my blood sugar. But that was my antidepressants made my blood sugar go up, and the doctor said it's only going to get worse as you get older. Now my medication was switched in June, and that wasn't a pleasant experience. But as far as I know, my blood sugar is pretty good, but I'm still fairly low carb, except I have oatmeal sometimes.
Oh, speaking of food, is your farmers market video finished, Shay? Just to sort of.
So no, it's not. It won't be done for a while.
Oh, it needs editing. In other words.
Well, yeah, that too. But no, so I'm going to give you my 2 cents again on what my psychic teacher says about illnesses. And he says that like even like diabetes and cancer, it's possible to get rid of them. He says that the way to do it is to, again, give it like a size and a shape and a color and like kind of like take it from your body and like release it. And if you continue to like do that, I guess meditation or imagination, what is it called? Like visualization.
Visualize it. Yeah, visualize it.
Visualize that your whatever illness is like leaving you like daily, then he says that you can get rid of like even allergies or simple things like that. That I think in that spiritual world, you just need to things that we cannot see with our eyes. It's important to give it like a size, shape, and color so that we can manipulate it to kind of like, go away, go away, like. Because I asked him, I was like, wait, like even cancer, you like with spiritual work, you can get rid of it. And he's like, yeah, like, but a person really needs to be grounded and centered and like connected to, their guide spirits and angels to help.
And I think that's a very extremely rare thing that someone was that connected. And this is my perspective. Now my wife, when she's the molecular biologist and she was doing cancer research before she switched to web development. It was always my view, if someone was religious and I'm not either, but I was raised that way. When someone's in a church says God will heal you, well, if there's this God and this God made us in His own image, then and gave us all the potential that we needed when we were born, developing that potential to its fullest is something that doctors often do to become doctors, and good ones, and researchers. And I sort of see it from that perspective. They're kind of like the unsung heroes in some cases in religious families, when the doctor performs the surgery and removes the cancer and you go into remission. You don't hear the doctor's name praised.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Even though, from my perspective, that doctor could be seen as being much closer to God, theoretically, than the average person, because they developed their potential as much as they could to become a doctor and learn how the body works.
On the other hand, I mean, quite a lot of doctors, sort of because of the nature of having to study the science, are not particularly religious, or have much faith. I don't think. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I'm sure there are sort of like Christian or Buddhist doctors who do practice.
I've met all sorts.
Mm-hmm.
And, that's funny to say. Well, just because it is funny to say, I've met all sorts, but I have met all sorts. And my current doctor is a rather salty fellow, and I like that in a doctor. And if you start giving him grief, he'll give you a good blast. But he always has a smile for you.
Who has to go? Somebody have to go?
Who has to go? The Bears?
I was just saying hi to the bears.
Okay. Sorry.
The bears were waving at me.
It's a sign.
Is it?
Sorry. I like that. I think we should decide God by committee. I kind of agree with you. See, I don't know whether I belong in this conversation.
You can be. You're a part of it. Because
you have your perspective.
You have your perspective. We all have our perspectives, and I am. Well, not everyone's aware of your perspective, Dean, because you don't often talk of it.
No, I don't. I had an interesting conversation with my wife and some of my family, my children, yesterday about spirituality, and so my wife believes in spiritual, like ghosts and all that sort of stuff, and they asked me what I feel about them. Because we're electrical beings, I tend to look at things from a more scientific kind of perspective. I do identify as a non-theistic Satanist. The Satanist part is adversary. That's all it is. I don't believe in any deities whatsoever. But when they asked about how I used to. I was very religious. I was practicing Catholic, and which in itself is probably a problem for a lot of people anyway. But yeah, I spent a lot of time from when I was younger. I was an altar boy, and I avoided all the pedophile priests, which is a good thing. And then I went away from religion for many years, and then I went back to it, and I was an altar server, all that sort of stuff. And yeah, now I'm not. I've not been religious for quite a while.
You won't fit into the surplice anymore, so it doesn't fit.
No. But yeah, I used to juggle Eucharists. Anyway, Catholic joke. Yeah, when they asked me, I'll get to the point sooner or later. I do this all the time, I ramble. Being electrical beings, we our bodies create an electrical field, and I said it'd be, the way I look at it is ghosts, spirits, all that sort of stuff Excuse me. Coffee's coming back.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, the way I look at ghosts in particular, not so much spirits and that, because that's a separate sort of subject, but ghosts could be a residual electrical charge, if you want to put it that way, because when you've got electricity passing through wires, electrical wires or something like that, you cut off the electricity at one end, you've still got a residual charge that is left in those wires, if you will. That's just a small sample of the way I think. I don't know. None of us do. Obviously, 100%. I mean, we can think we do. I think it's arrogant to profess a belief. For myself, I'm not saying anyone else. I'm not calling anyone else arrogant. But I think it's we are naturally atheistic. We're born atheists, if you want, or
until you're taught, sort of thing. Yeah.
We're at least agnostic anyway. And I think it's sort of like arrogant. And I do tend to be more agnostic than atheist, except when it comes to organised religion. When it comes to organised religion, I'm a militant atheist. But as far as beliefs in a spiritual, for lack of a better word, sort of existence beyond, I mean, I'd love for there to be an afterlife. I'd love to see all of my dead relatives that I miss very, very much. I would like to. Hi.
Oh, there's an alive one. They found you.
Ellen. Anyway, I'd love to think that there is, but
there is. There's like so many like personal recounts of like people that have walked that thin line between like life and death, that have like visited basically like heaven but came back. There's like
I did that. I mean, I died in a bar. Yeah, I did.
I almost died on an operating table when I was 10.
So you must have seen it, right?
Well,
I didn't see anything.
Yeah, what I saw was quite different. I guess I had. Somebody gave me something that was not what it was supposed to be, and my heart stopped. And the guy, it was the bartender actually that had seen me going out the back, and he was the one. I guess he was doing something to me because he told me that he thought he lost me, and
so you visited heaven?
I wouldn't say that. I'm of the opinion that heaven, such as it is all around us, and you only need to learn how to tweak your perspective to see it and experience it, live in it.
It's kind of like an out of body experience, is what they say. They said like when you're in that middle state of like this body and like the spirit part of you kind of like see your body and you're like, oh, there's my dying body.
I've heard that, but I didn't see that. It happened pretty quick. It was very pleasant. I just came out of a forest into a clearing, and it was like 50s suburban homes, all one level, maybe L-shaped houses. And it was a nice little neighborhood, but there were no people. And I noticed that houses didn't have any windows in them, so I went and looked inside, and it was just like a shell. There was nothing inside. And I thought,
sounds like Fallout 3.
Yes. So maybe I thought, well, I guess it's not quite ready yet. And now I wonder why.
Go back.
And then all of a sudden, there were people there. And the one thing that all these people had in common, they all needed some assistance from me. And I was more than happy to give them the assistance they needed. And it just kept coming. It was like nonstop. And I was ecstatic because I loved, even back then, I loved helping people. And I was, when I came back, that's when the bartender told me that he thought he had lost me because my heart stopped. And well, I'm back. I'm back. And
scientific studies about that kind of stuff where they, you know, tested people who are like near death experiences, or like who said that they felt like they were out of their body, body experience. But something about how like when your body is having that kind of shock, your brain or whatever releases like a certain chemical like endorphins or something that give you that kind of like euphoric hallucination kind of stuff to help your mind cope with the pain or whatever, with the loss of life, whatever. And then if you come back, then that stuff is what you're actually remembering, is the chemicals in your brain that were helping you cope with the pain, or the process of death had started, but you came back, which means you didn't die. But the experience in between where your brain was going into the death mode was what you were experiencing. So that's why everybody experiences different things. Some people see a tunnel with a light. Other people feel like they're floating above their body in like a hospital. Some other people go into into a forest, or like for you, into a town of like a 1950s like diner, kind of like Marty McFly kind of whatever. So maybe like I said, I don't believe in God or religion or anything, but at the same time, I'm also still open to many different ideas, especially like spirits and stuff. Because, for example, like 500 years ago or whenever, I don't know my history, but people didn't believe in atoms because they could only see with their human eye. So they didn't know that there's anything smaller than like whatever the smallest particle they could see. But then with microscopes, we could see that there's actually atoms within atoms or whatever. So same idea, like maybe with our naked eye, we can't see ghosts, maybe, but maybe with a certain technology, they're actually around us. We just don't have the visual capability. So kind of like that movie with, you know, the Roddy Piper movie where like he put on the glasses and he could see like aliens or whatever. You remember that movie?
No. You have to send us a link.
Yeah, I don't remember the name of the movie, but he's this guy and he's like a construction worker or something, and then he finds a box of glasses and he puts in the glasses, and then he sees all around him and he can see like aliens have come down and they're hidden in human bodies, but with those glasses you can see who's actually human and who's alien.
That's so funny.
Yeah. So, and then he can see signs, like even like a billboard for like Nike or something. Like when you look at it with your glasses, it says it's like a message from aliens to other aliens. Like it's like almost like two different worlds.
Did he have a girlfriend, and was it an alien?
I don't remember the whole movie, but all I remember is like that Roddy Piper was in it, the wrestler.
Yeah. This was when you were zapping between How I Met Your Mother while you were on the couch.
I remember this because it had such a deep impact on me. I watched it when I was maybe in like elementary school or junior high school. It was on TV one day. It was on like, you know, those like movies that are like all the time.
It turned you paranoid. But
I was like, oh man, what if there really is like so much stuff that we can't see with our eyes? But
no, there is. So clairvoyant people are
they have the extra power.
Yeah,
so that's why I kind of believe in that. But I can't be sure, but I can't say no either.
What about empathic people?
My teacher was like, he was working the cash register, you know, and then he like opened up the cash register and he saw like a face in there and he was like, whoa, you know, and he's like, what are you doing? And then like he looked up and that face was like on somebody else's back, like as they were walking away. And
I want to know what your teacher's been eating. I want some of that food.
So,
you don't think that could be surging brain activity, like with the near-death experiences? Science explains it by your brain is firing so magnificent a lot. Your brain is magnificently firing away, because you're having a near-death experience, or you're nearing death, and it fires in an attempt to start your body, keep it alive, and you don't think that the same thing might be possible for people who like clairvoyance. So my uncle, he is still alive, and he was a medium. He channeled people and stuff like that. Now I used to kind of believe in it, but it just becomes more and more evident to me personally that when you've got somebody who professes to be a clairvoyant or a medium or whatever. My wife, again, we were talking yesterday, and I'm sorry, I'm jumping a bit here, aren't I? It all leads somewhere. She asked about a psychic medium that she went and saw, who predicted that we would have some rather major marital problems, which we ended up having a few years later. But as soon as I asked Anne, wife, well, was she specific about what was going to happen? And Anne was convinced that this woman. And this woman, we know her personally. There's not a bad bone in her body.
I think she just saw signs.
I think she was just picking up on it because the hall that they used was straight across the road from our house. She could see what was going on sometimes, like within our house, and obviously could hear us. Disagreeing, stuff like that. And I think that she subconsciously maybe even grasped hold of some of that. There are some other stuff there's some other stuff that she said that I can't explain scientifically or in a.
It's when she saw Mrs. Bennett running after you with a frying pan.
Yeah, basically. But yeah, she I said to her, well, do you remember what she said? And she goes, yeah, we were going to have trouble. And we did have trouble. I said, yes, but I could walk out on the street, pick a person out and go, be careful. In a few years, you're going to have trouble.
It's almost like you're planting.
That's going to happen, And I said, when I asked my wife, do you remember exactly what she said? And she said, no. And I said, was she specific? No. Well, anybody can do that. Like I said, you've got your John Edwardses on TV and that little Dutch man with the moustache. I can't remember his name.
Shay's now taking notes. Be more specific. When
that's why.
The very act of doing predicting is almost planting seeds, right?
I think people who are charging money for it are usually fraud. I mean,
I
feel like if someone was really actually clairvoyant or someone could actually see spirits or whatever, I think one, they wouldn't tell anybody because they don't want to feel like they're a freak. Or even if they were willing to tell people, they would kind of be like a Jesus. They would be doing it out of the goodness of their heart to tell somebody, oh my God, like don't go on the next bus. Or, they wouldn't be like, if you give me $29.99 an hour, I'll be able to tell you like if your dad is going to survive the disease. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like, and especially like the lady you saw, every couple in marriage, and no matter how happy they are, always have problems. There's always going to be arguments. That's like saying, I think your son is going to masturbate someday. Like, he will.
I told you.
And then you're going to walk in one day.
He's going at it in the bathroom.
Like, right. You know what I mean? Like, I think it's obvious things that they're saying. So unless something specific, like you guys are going to be arguing about dinner and then the next day she's going to leave you or something, then okay. But I feel like if someone's not, unless it's for free advice, I feel like if someone's charging you for it, it's kind of like, that's the first signal for me that this person might be a fraud. That's my personal thing. Like other people I know, say no, this person's definitely whatever. And I don't want to say anything about your teacher Shay because I don't know him or whatever, and I don't know how much he charges. But it could be either. I'm not saying he's a fraud because he seems to have a lot of information. So maybe he's just weird. Like he's like he's.
We all are weird.
Yeah, they're all kind of weird, hallucinating, but I don't know.
You're weird too.
Oh,
Yeah.
I sure as hell am.
Right.
Anybody watching this or watching this show, it's weird.
Like, I used to use my empathic abilities guarding the train. When things got tight and we were falling behind, I had to really focus and ramp up the efficiency as high as possible, and that meant opening those doors and closing those doors so fast that sometimes people that weren't getting off at the station would get off just to turn and glare at me, thinking that I was just pushing the buttons randomly, but I wasn't. I was just very focused, and I was able to do that quite effectively. And what was a deficit soon became a gap behind us, and resulted in disgruntled coworkers that followed me often. Because I once I got into that zone, it was hard to get out of it.
Right.
It's a zone I find hard to get out of.
Yeah, we can talk about that later.
What we could if carry on in the after show, but we could unless.
Oh yes, we've been on for a little while.
Yes, and I need to go to sleep because I'm going to play golf tomorrow.
Oh yeah,
you know this. You know this for a fact. This has not come to you from the universe. You have it written down.
My hands are telling me I need to go to sleep.
Get a hole in one. Hole in one.
We'll see. It's
okay.
possible.
I did it once.
I need to continue this at another date, another day. Like,
well, yeah, the after show. We can go into the after show.
Yes, please come back to visit us often, Shay. But I will still share things with you that I think might be useful for you.
Thank you so much.
Okay. I would like to thank our guests, Ozzy and Shay, for joining us. And next week, we have no idea what will happen, but we'll be on again.
Yes. It will be a miracle.
I might even be there on the Saturday.
That would be a miracle.
Yes, we'll probably be Saturday next week, yes.
Yeah, so thanks all for watching. I'll put the link in the chat if anybody wants to pop in with us. Stopping the live stream now.